Because surely the Republicans won't bring this country together. Their policies divide the nation into the lucky and the left out, into the royalty and the rabble. The Republicans are willing to treat that division as victory. They would cut this nation in half into those temporarily better off and those worse off than before, and they would call that division recovery. Now,
all right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. And before we get to our guest, Charles Hurt of the Washington Times, I just want to let you know and remind you, if you're watching us right now on Dish Satellite Network, we're now broadcasting temporarily on 2 channels. But our main channel on Dish still continues to be 223. So please check us out there as well. We'll always be on 223. All right, Charles Hurt, welcome, sir.
How are you?
I'm all right. Before we get to your piece on Mario Cuomo, there's never a dull moment. We have some breaking news about a man by the name of Christopher Lee Cornwell, who has been arrested in Cincinnati for plotting to put pipe bombs at the U.S. Capitol and kill politicians, and doing it, he said, for ISIS. So it just keeps going and going, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's really, really amazing, and what's terrifying about it is that my personal view is that this we have a president and an administration. They simply they are not enthusiastic about this fight, and they are pretending. They do everything they can to pretend that the fight isn't really going on. And as we've talked about before, you don't get to declare peace. Only your enemy can determine whether you have peace. And right now, our enemy is not declaring peace, and they have every intent of drawing as much blood from civilized the civilized human race that they can, because they want to drag all of us back into the into their dark ages.
Well,
and
Charlie,
I don't know how people don't take it more seriously.
It's working. To the extent that, just the other day, Josh Earnest defended his one of his predecessor, Jay Carney, who in 2012 questioned Charlie the magazine's judgment, and he said 2 days ago, Earnest, at the behest of the president, speaking for the president, that this president and I will continue and not shy away from criticizing any speech or movie or whatever that we feel puts our troops in possible harm's way. So in other words, anything inflammatory that radical Islam won't like, they're going to say, well, this could put our troops overseas in harm's way, and they're going to speak out against it. So free speech is great, but they're saying.
Yeah, but they don't. But they refuse to put the nexus to it that you actually have to defend with a sword the right of people to do this sort of thing. And to stop and condemn whatever it is that these crazies are killing people over. It's like stopping in the middle of a house fire to play a game of tic-tac-toe. It's just the two are, sure, there are environments, there are discussions where you can debate whether you think something is in poor taste or not. But we're talking about murderous animals who are killing innocent people, killing people in the name of their religion. And for them to stop in the middle of that and have a parlor discussion about whether something is in good taste or not, it's just, these are not serious people. Yeah. And how it is that they have become taken seriously to the point that they're in this sort of position of authority, I will never understand it, because they are not serious people. Talk about JV. These people, they're not even JV, Steve. They're like, the Rumble Room. I mean, they're just delusional. It's terrifying.
No, I couldn't agree more. All right, very briefly, I urge everyone to go to WashingtonTimes.com to read the story. Mario Cuomo was not a total liar, and that's saying something. He passed away, but you say that he lied, I think, half the time. What, just half a liar? Half a liar all of the time.
Yeah, and if you go back and you listen to that 1984 speech at the Democratic Convention, it is the most morose, divisive, and bleak and depressing sort of depiction of America. And, of course, Democrats went on to lose in a landslide that year. And, of course, no Democrat has dared to speak so bluntly about how their worldview since then, because because in order to get into the White House, you have to lie about it and pretend to be hopeful and all this stuff. But he laid bare the liberal ideology, and that speech is, if you ever forget what liberals stand for, you should go back and listen to that speech again. And I just think it's so funny that you have all these Democrats today who are saying, who are heralding Mario Cuomo for all this, yet they wouldn't dare touch that playbook he tried back then.
You're absolutely right.
It blew up in their faces.
I had him on my Yankee pregame show on WABC in 1990 because he had been drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates, but we didn't talk politics. Charles Hurt, great to see you. Mary Matlin is next. Don't go away.